Davids tonight. David D'Ambroso, David Oldham, and David Van. We're going to talk to David Oldham about your trip to New Jersey. Man. You just went out to defeat the beast, some sort of vaccine bill out there that they were going to pass, but yes. You stopped it. What did you find out? You stopped in New York first and then headed out to New Jersey. What happened?
Yes, New York New York passed a bill a year ago. Their law is all school children have to be vaccinated with a certain number of vaccines.
Just the safe ones, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What's the problem?
And therefore, they are actually taking it the next step. They're trying to go after homeschoolers this year and basically force all children to have a certain number of vaccines, and I don't know what that.
Well, I don't know if you've heard of the herd immunity or not, but
yeah, that because we're to be treated like chattel and cattle.
That's where it comes from.
I don't have to hear about the herd mentality as long as you three guys.
Okay.
That's how the herd works. I just get a kick out of how these are so safe that my kids can't take them, but I'm going to make your kids take them.
Exactly.
You know, that's it.
Well, the thing that stood out when I got there, because in New York, the vaccine maker, big pharma, Merck, that company named Merck, they literally bought a floor of offices or have rented a floor of offices directly across the street from the state capitol. Mm-hmm. So they are right there lobbying New York in Albany.
Are they caged in a free speech zone or not?
Well, this was the big thing is I got there and I have not heard a protest as loud at that point in time as loud as that one was. They were passing out referee whistles. There were people with bullhorns, and I mean dozens of bullhorns.
Yeah.
Even more in New Jersey when I got to New Jersey, but they were passing those things out. They were passing out all sorts of things. I got this T-shirt, which wow. I really like, and had a message that stood out to me, and was not just vaccines. Just the science of vaccines.
Yeah. The answer is yes, if I could read that shirt correctly.
Yeah.
You are free to comply, Oldham.
That's right.
It's almost like stealing Les Nessman's famous line, Herb, in a greater sense, are any of us really free?
Exactly. If anybody remembers WKRP in Cincinnati.
It was in the 30s next year.
That's right.
So, anyway, so we started off with this really raucous demonstration below Merck, moved over to the Capitol, went inside the legislative office building, met with some legislators and things like that. Had a bit of a tete-a-tete with a bunch of socialists who were wanting socialized medicine done by New York State in New York State. And they literally marched around the block with the big banner and a bunch of people making chants, just like you would expect socialists.
That was
in Albany.
Albany.
This was all in Albany in one afternoon.
Okay, yeah.
And then I hopped the train and went on down to Trenton.
That's the capital of Bloombergia, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And where Cuomo is the governor.
The singer. I love his music. Beautiful.
Cuomo rhymes with Como.
Yes. And so went down to Trenton. The next day was going to be the first day we had to get through. This would be Thursday. Had to get through this day without seeing too much damage done. One Senator O'Scanlan, he's a Republican, came up with what he claims and still claims is a fair compromise. Yeah. And that was to have, and their original bill was to force all school children, public and private, attending any form of a school, to be vaccinated.
Yeah. Whenever I hear that word fair, I know I'm in for an objective truth, that's just my alert that, boy, no opinion here.
Exactly. So his fair compromise was to allow private schools to remain private and decide for themselves. Public school children would all be forced to be vaccinated. Okay, and that immediately set off the New Jersey crowd, because although it passed the New Jersey Senate as an amendment, they cannot take a final vote for passage the same day.
Yeah.
They must give it to the next business day for proper consideration. It's
Yeah.
in their constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And so they passed the amendment, ended business that day.
On Friday, right?
That was on Thursday.
Thursday.
Next day of business was going to be Monday.
Oh, Friday
So
they're off.
and
yeah.
so they were off Friday, and that left the weekend for a lot of lobbying and so forth.
Okay, now Monday is also going to be the end of the entire session, right?
Well, it was the last voting day of
Voting
session, but session didn't actually officially end until noon on Tuesday.
Okay.
So there was going to be the chance for games all the way through to noon Tuesday, but it ended Monday with the gaveling, the end of session, or you mean the end of that day's business, and no decision made. After lots of chanting, we were there for a good 12 hours.
Okay.
go
Let me
ahead.
just stop and talk
Yeah.
you talked about the system, the lawmakers. Let's talk about those people that you were with.
Yeah.
Now, most of us have a sense of the Midwestern, mostly Protestant, mostly, I don't know, middle America values.
Right.
Rustic.
What did you see different there? What kind of coalitions did you see that you might not have seen here?
Oh, it was culture shock.
Really?
Very much so.
How'd you deal with the stacks
I
of
mean-
garbage just everywhere?
Well, I mean, the beauty is that we created a lot of garbage
Yeah,
on
you
our own.
did. Yeah,
Now,
you
a lot of it could get taken away, but not everything.
Yeah.
They actually had trash pickup, and we were allowed to leave it on the curb. Everybody picked it all up and got it
Yeah.
into bags and things like
And
that.
this is
point.
Trenton.
But-
It's not like Jersey City or
Not
something.
as
No, no,
filthy
no,
as
no,
the
no.
rest of
No, no.
Jersey.
But then they had it through the night. They had trash trucks come by and clean
Right.
everything up, so it's clean by morning.
Sure. Good.
But we had done all of the policing of the grounds and everything like that.
Okay.
We'd
What's
done
amazing
everything
is
we
that-
had been able
That's
to
what I've
do.
heard about Virginia, just preliminarily coming out of Virginia, that there's no garbage left behind.
Yes.
Yeah.
These Second
Now,
Amendment rallies.
Okay, back to this. Now, you're probably going to see more of a union presence there.
Oh, very much
Um,
so. I've got my little CWA union whistle that was handed
There
me
you go.
as one of the noisemakers.
You blow on this if you find Jimmy Hoffa's body or what?
Well, this
Okay.
is a CWA, which
So
is
you're
Communication
going to
Workers
be
of
union.
America.
Now, this again was about a religious exemption, right?
Yes.
That was at stake. And so you're probably a lot more Catholics and liturgical denominations.
We had, yes, very much so. A lot. There was a big contingent of Orthodox Jews because
Yeah.
they were specifically targeted in New York.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
And in fact, on the way home in Chicago, and one of these Orthodox Jews, not somebody who was at the Capitol, heard me telling a friend of theirs what I had been up to, and he came up to me and introduced himself by saying, "I am 100% pro-vaccine, but thank you for coming to Trenton and doing what you did, because religiously I am against the mandates." So
Yeah.
while we were probably not agreed politically, we were not agreed on vaccines, we were not agreed on religion, we were not agreed on most anything, we were agreed on the American ideal of
Liberty.
liberty,
Right.
and no dictatorship.
So it
Lack
wasn't
of
the,
force.
right. It
Yes.
wasn't the pragmatic sense of is this a good or bad thing. It's the principle, the broader principle. Of,
Certainly in his case, and I met union guys, I met lifelong Democrats, and in fact, a friend of mine who's a lifelong Democrat wants to turn New Jersey and New York red. I mean, that was her; those were her
Yeah.
words to me.
A lot of
We
leftists
need
are
to
waking
turn.
up. Yeah.
We need to turn New York red. And she is now homeschooling her children after New York's debacle last year, which they snuck in under everybody's radar. But and that's the beauty, is that we're not seeing that now. But the coalitions were very much left, very much union, very much denominations we don't see out here
Yep.
to the same degree.
So to encapsulate the experience, the legislature there in New Jersey had a bill getting ready to pass.
Yes.
People came together, and
Yes.
you guys protested until they said, we're not going to move on this.
With
Yes.
unions. With unions.
And when?
Oh, yes.
And left
What are
coalitions.
you going to do when they get ready to move on it again?
Well, they've already resubmitted the paperwork for the new session. They're trying to kill it in committee and so forth because they now have it in with the compromise language is where they're starting. The thing is that has taken the left, who were completely for the vaccine mandates, and set their teeth on edge because they don't like forcing the poor into it while the rich can get away with it.
That's exactly it. That's how you got some Democrats to switch.
Yes.
Is when they seen it as a class warfare.
And that's exactly where they see it now.
And that was the poison pill, essentially, wasn't it?
Yes,
A little bit.
It was the weakest poison pill I've ever seen,
Yeah.
but it worked as that. But the thing is that
Be an anti-venom, wouldn't it?
well, it's like giving a sober person oxycodone. You know, it still make you high.